Hey guys, I'm going to be showing you now how to take the inverse of a 3 by 3 matrix. It can seem quite daunting at first because there is a lot of things to do, a lot of steps that if you're not careful you can end up with the wrong inverse. So let's go through this very carefully. My answer is going to look something like this. I'm going to have 1 over the determinant times some new matrix. Okay, so there's really two things I want to get. I want to calculate the determinant of this, put it here, and I want to do something to this to get a new matrix and put it there. And together that'll make my inverse. So let's talk about how to get that new matrix first. It's kind of tricky, but what I want to do is methodically go through each term, right? So we're going to go through the 1, then 0, then the 2, then the 0, then the 4, right? And we're going to go through all of those terms. But what we want to do is when we select the first term, we kind of cross out anything in the same row or column, and we're left with a 2 by 2 matrix here. And I'm just going to calculate the determinant of that. Remember what the determinant of a 2 times 2 matrix is? Well, if we have A, B, C, D, the determinant of this 2 times 2 matrix is going to be A times D minus B times C. So I'm going to calculate 4 times 0 minus the product of the other diagonal. And in this case, I'm going to get minus 3. Okay, so that's interesting. I'm just going to go back to uncross that one. So by crossing out the lines through the 1, what I end up getting is 0 minus 3, which is minus 3. Okay, so what I want to do is to get this new matrix here, we're going to do that, and we're going to calculate the determinants of what's left, and each determinant we're going to put in here. So that would be minus 3. All right, so we're going to do the same thing with 0. Cross it out, and we're left with the matrix C. That's 0, 3, minus 1, 0. So to calculate the determinant of that, it's going to be 0 multiplied by 0, which is 0, minus 1 multiplied by 3, which is going to be positive 3. Okay, so that's what I'm going to fill in that space. And so on. You see we do this for everyone. Cross out the 2. We get 0 minus 4, give me 4. And so on. Okay, and you calculate that for every single number. So let's suppose we did that. We're going to get something similar to this. I don't know if we're going to get exactly this. Probably definitely not, but let's pretend we did that and we get this matrix, right? So as I said, we want to find the inverse, so we want to make a new matrix. Okay, so this is our new matrix. And we want to have 1 over the determinant. So there's actually 3 steps to defining this new matrix, and that was the first step. The first step is getting the matrix of determinants. And there's a lot of other names for this, but this is most intuitive, matrix of determinants. Okay, just because it is literally a matrix of all the determinants of all the other 2 by 2s that you got. Okay, this step's pretty easy. I'm just going to check these 4 numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I missed this one. There you go. So those 4 numbers. I'm just going to multiply each of them by minus 1. All right, so minus 3, 4, minus 2 times 1 else 2. Okay, so it only 4 numbers become affected. That's step 2. Okay, so if you think about that, it looks a bit like this. Okay, if minus is in the correct place and then whatnot. So that's really all there is to that. And then the last step, we're going to do something called transpose the matrix. Okay, so I'm going to reflect the matrix on this diagonal, or interchange the rows and the columns. And we're left with minus 3, 1, 2. This becomes a minus 3 and 2 because they have now swapped. Then this is a 4 and a 0 because they have swapped, and then minus 3, minus 4 because they have swapped. Okay, and we're done. That's our new matrix. Yay, right? So that's half the problem done. Next step is calculating the determinant. And calculating the determinant is quite similar to the first step of finding the new matrix, the matrix of determinants. Okay. What you want to do is you want to basically do that for we're going to cross out the 1 and do that again. The determinant that's left is going to be -3. So what I want to do is I want to multiply 1 by that determinant. And as I do that, what am I going to get? I'm going to get 1 multiplied by -3. All right, the next step is we're going to take away 0 and multiply it by the determinant that was left. But notice we already wrote it up here. So we have that determinant. So if you look at this, I want to calculate it with these free determinants. Okay, -3, 3, and 4 are important to me. That's the first free determinant. So -3, 3, and 4. I'm going to multiply each of those by the numbers that I crossed out to get it. So this one would be 0. The dot, by the way, means multiplication. That's not 0.3. That's not times 3. Then we have the 2 over there. I'm going to multiply that by that determinant. Now what you see will happen is I'm going to add this guy, subtract this guy, and add this guy. And that's my determinant. That seems a bit weird and convoluted, but you know, that's what it is, I guess. So in this case, it's 5. Let me go through the determinant of one more matrix because that can seem kind of hazy. Okay, so what is this matrix? Well, this is the identity matrix in the identity 3 times 3 matrix. Okay, it's like the matrix equivalent of 1 if we're multiplying with 3 by 3 matrices. So what should the determinant of this be? Well, it should be 1, shouldn't it? The inverse of this should be identical. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna calculate the determinant. Okay, so remember the determinant, you might want to write it like this. Okay, you write the first number 1, write the second number 0, and write the third number 0. So I'll give you like process for doing it, right? And then you want to add a minus in front of the second number. Okay. Then I'm going to multiply each of these guys by the determinant that I would get if I crossed the line column that they are line on out. And if I add all that up, I get the determinant. Okay, I hope that makes sense. It's kind of a weird algorithm, but there you go. So let's do that. So if I cross out 1, I'm left with 1 minus 0, which is just 1. And notice I don't even care what these things are because they're getting multiplied by 0 anyway. So my answer, sure enough, is 1. Okay, so this is just me stepping you through the algorithmic process of calculating the inverse of a 3 times 3 matrix. As to why the inverse is what it is, I might explain this in another video. Super fun advanced topic. But for now you know at least how to calculate inverses by hand. So thank you for watching. I hope you found this helpful. If not, just shout at me in the comments. I'll try and edit it or whatever, or make a better one next time. So keep fun with the math, guys.